Santosh, can you see us?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Santosh. Please introduce yourself to the panel.
Sir, I am Bhaviri Santosh Kumar. I am from Srikakulam district, Andhra Pradesh. I have done my graduation in MBBS. After that, I did my graduation in dermatology, sir. And right now, I am undergoing training with Department of Telecommunications as IPTF probationer 2021 batch. Before joining into service, I worked as a medical officer and consultant dermatologist for 2 years in Dantewada and Bijapur district, sir, which is in Bastar region, Chhattisgarh. During that time, I took some good initiatives, and one such initiative is Bastar Primary Healthcare Model. Eventually, WHO also published that model. Right now, I'm looking for a platform where I can take such initiatives and setting some good examples, sir.
Okay, so tell me, why did you quit such a good profession where you could have done a lot of good work for the public, and join and trying to get into the civil services?
Sir, right now I'm looking for a platform where I can take some good initiatives and setting some good examples in our society, sir. In that regard, I have seen civil service as a great opportunity. To me, it offers two unique advantages, sir. First one is I see it as a great learning opportunity. Over the time, I can improve my skill set and I would be more productive. And second advantage that I have seen here is as a leadership position, I will be in the driving seat of the system. I can take initiatives and I can build teams. Together, we can bring some positive change, sir. With this notion only, I quit the job and I pursue this exam.
So tell me, how is post and telegraph accounts going to help you in getting a platform for all your, good deeds, whatever you want to do? Couldn't you have done better as a doctor than as a post and telegraph accounts officer?
Not opted for many services. Not opted for many.
So, could you hear my question?
Yes, sir. I got the question, sir.
So, how is post and telegraph accounts, which you are working in now, how is it going to, do you think is better than being a doctor, where you can do much better service to the humanity, to your people, and how is it going to help you?
Sir, I came here to being an Indian administrative service, sir. So I see it as a part of the journey. So even in the
what's your plan B then? Supposing it becomes difficult to raise the rank, then what happens? You stay on as a accounts officer, or you become a doctor again, go back to medicine?
Sir, at this moment, I would like to continue with the present service only, sir.
Okay, so you find that being an accounts officer is better than a doctor?
Sir, it is a kind of trade-off, sir.
It's a kind of trade-off. Okay.
Sir.
Okay. Tell me, since you're a doctor, what is the Government of India's digital effort into the health sector in India? Digital effort of the Government of India.
Sir, recently government came up with a mission, National Digital Health Mission, sir. So we want to digitize the entire health infrastructure. So part of this National Digital Health Mission, the government wants to create a health stack. They want to give digital ID to the patients. They want to maintain digital registry for doctors, hospital facilities, and they want to digitize the entire healthcare system so that in the future, remote areas also can avail the advantages of digitization of the India in terms of telehealth and telemedicine practices.
So what is that digital identity called?
Sir, as far as you know, government coming up with creating a unique health ID, but as of now, I'm not aware of that name, sir.
It's called Abha. Sort of lady's name, Abha. Ayushman Bharat Health Account.
Thank you, sir. I will definitely read about this.
And what is the government's effort in getting the poorest of the poor access to the health services, to the best health services possible? What is the government's effort in that direction?
Sir, in order to avail the health services to poorest of the poor, government has launched Ayushman Bharat mission, sir. So under Ayushman Bharat, there are two sub-schemes. In order to provide the primary healthcare services to the poor people, government wants to build 1.5 lakh health and wellness centers. And when it comes to provision of secondary and tertiary healthcare services, again, government comes up with Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Under this, government will provide 10 crore families, which covers 50 crore population, with annual cover of 5 lakhs. So this is how government wants to provide primary, secondary, and tertiary healthcare services to poorer sections of the country.
Okay, supposing you manage to get into the IAS, and then you are posted as SDM in one of your LWE infested areas. What are the main challenges you will face? Name 3 main challenges in tackling those LWE people.
Sir, the first challenge would be ensuring efficient service delivery, sir. Particularly in LWE areas, many areas are dominated by Naxals, and government officials are not allowed into that area. So provision of the government services to these underprivileged sections is a difficult challenge. And second, infrastructure build-up, sir. Again, these people are against construction of the roads, construction of the telecommunication towers. So this would be my second challenge. And third challenge would be ensuring the law and order in the district, sir. So there are some issues with respect to establishing rule of law. So as a DM, I would consider 3 as major challenges, sir.
Oh, excellent.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Santosh, is that how you're called Santosh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, Santosh, when is your interview?
Ma'am, my interview is on 16th March, ma'am.
16th March. So it's really round the corner, right? Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Santosh. Can you've also opted for the foreign services, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So tell me, what lessons do you take from what happened in Sri Lanka? What happened in Sri Lanka? First of all, let's start with that.
Ma'am, as of now, Sri Lanka is experiencing economic crisis, ma'am. Initially, there was a declining forex reserve, a mounting debt, and finally, when they're not able to get the basic provisions, many Sri Lankans revolted against their political elite. So there was a crisis, ma'am.
Okay. And which country had a major role, also had a major role in Sri Lanka's plight?
Ma'am, it is China, ma'am, because there is a term debt trap diplomacy.
Right. Yeah.
So part of this debt trap, Sri Lankans took debt from China and in an unsustainable way. Now they are finding difficult in repaying those loans. At the same time, Chinese wants to take advantage of the plight of the Sri Lankan condition by making strategic inroads into the region, ma'am.
Okay. What is the latest on that front?
In recent times, ma'am, China extended part of the debt restructuring to Sri Lankans. It eased Sri Lankans to get IMF loan, ma'am.
Okay, they also switched over to a certain kind of agriculture, isn't it? The Sri Lankans, which also added to their, woes.
Yes, ma'am. Unfortunately, Sri Lankan Prime Minister banned utilization of the chemical fertilizers overnight. So rather than going for a gradual approach into organic farming, they have banned altogether. So it reduces their productivity in a very bad way, ma'am. It led to food crisis. and inflation in the country.
Yeah, so there are some lessons, there that one should take from, sudden switchovers to practices in an unsustainable way. Well, okay. Can you also tell me as to which are the other countries, which are facing a major inflationary issues and in a terrible crisis right now?
We have one more our neighbor in South Asian region, that is Pakistan. Pakistan is also experiencing similar crisis, ma'am. High inflation, falling Pakistani rupee value, and mounting debt, and falling forex reserves. So at this moment, I can quote Pakistan, ma'am, in terms of economic crisis.
Okay, and who's bailing out Pakistan?
Ma'am, at this moment, Pakistan largely relying upon three sources. One is China, second one Middle East friends, and third one IMF, ma'am.
Okay, let's move on. What do you know about the Indus Water Treaty?
Ma'am, Indus Water Treaty is brokered by World Bank between India and Pakistan in 1960. As per the treaty, northern three rivers will be the water from northern three rivers, that is Indus, Chenab, and Jhelum, owned by the Pakistan, and the southern three rivers, that is Ravi, Bias, and Satluj. The three rivers will most of the water from these three rivers will be utilized by India, ma'am.
Okay, all right. I mean, what's happened? What is India doing? And there's been an issue, no?
Yes, ma'am. In terms of Indus Water Treaty, at the time of treaty, India was benevolent towards Pakistan. It believes that being considerate towards the neighbor, in the long term, we establish a good relationship. But unfortunately, over the time, we are not able to see that kind of bonhomie from the neighbor. So lately, after particularly a series of attacks and army installations like Pulwama and Uri, India wants to relook into the treaty because India believes that they give a lot of consideration in terms of utilization of the waters. At the same time, there is a dispute resolution mechanism. Lately, Pakistan challenged some of Indian projects in arbitration courts. So India has its own reservation in this regard, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Let's move to something else. All right. Have you heard the name Foxconn? Foxconn.
Yes, ma'am. Foxconn is an electronic manufacturer, ma'am. I believe Foxconn belongs to Taiwan. It makes mobile handsets.
Yeah, so what's the latest on this, especially concerning our country?
Ma'am, as far as I know, Foxconn wants to establish its factory outlet in Hyderabad, Telangana state.
In your neighborhood, right? And
Yes,
who's
ma'am.
partnering with them?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't know that.
All right, the Vedanta group is trying to partner with them. All right, okay. You can read up because it's close to your where you are, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me a little bit about the Krishna Godavari basin.
Ma'am, Krishna Godavari Basin, it is largely situated in present Andhra Pradesh, and it is famous for two things, ma'am. It is a region blessed with fertile lands because of the Krishna Godavari Delta. At the same time, it is blessed with natural resources like oil and natural gas, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Okay. So, where is the natural gas exploration? At what level? Last question.
Ma'am, do you want me to comment about natural gas in Krishna water?
Yes. What production, exploration? Yeah, what's the present status?
There are two players are involving in this exploration, ma'am. One is Reliance and second one is ONGC, ma'am.
Okay, read up a little more on that, okay? Because it's from your area, okay?
Sure, ma'am. I will do that, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Santosh,
Yes, sir.
tell me what is the government has given for the Postal Services Department?
Pardon me, sir. There is some connectivity issue, sir.
How much budget government has given for the Postal Services Department?
In 2023-24 budget, government has given nearly 28,000 crores to postal department, sir.
20?
28,000 crores, sir.
Okay. So that means the Postal Services Department is running in loss. And it needs budgetary support just to run. So do you think it is justified? Because now courier service is available. They collect from your door and deliver.
Sir.
So do we need postal service anymore?
Sir, definitely we need postal services, sir. But that is one merit in that argument, that there is a changing nature of postal job. Earlier, postal job was to transfer the mails, money orders, but lately the quantity of mails and money orders has been reduced. At the same time, there are so many private players in terms of providing alternative to postal. But having said that, sir, apart from this mail operations, postal services is also offering some unique advantages. We have 1.5 lakh postal offices, most of them in rural areas. And these post offices providing small saving banks initiatives, rural life insurance initiatives. So it is a part of provision of financial inclusion to our rural masses. And second thing is, right now, most of the postal offices working as common service center delivery in terms of Aadhaar upgradation, in terms of delivering e-passport. So this is a unique advantage offered by postal. And third, in future, we can explore this domain also, logistics. Right now, India is facing high logistic costs, 14% in terms of GDP. If we efficiently utilizing these post offices in terms of mitigating the logistic costs, definitely when we consider all these aspects, postal is still relevant, sir.
Yes, but you see, if you talk of banking, then the CSE network is there. There are 5.4 lakh CSEs which are functional in the country. They are offering the banking services as banking correspondents. So we don't need post offices to become banks. It's actually a waste of effort.
Sir, I see other way around. Yes, sir, we have some good number of CSCs, but at the same time, we have 1.5 lakh post offices. So we can use it to our advantage. There is nothing wrong in expanding CSC structure. For instance, I worked in Bastar region, so where I didn't see many CSC centers. Even in my own village, I came from a rural background.
Let us be honest. When was the last letter you received from Post Office Department? Apart from maybe your appointment letter.
Sir.
It has been years.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so anyway, okay, tell me, what can you tell about the Gujarat model of development?
Sir, Gujarat model of development, it relies upon pro-business friendly act in terms of promoting pro-business activities. In the long term, we can build the infrastructure. We can ensure the quality of living. So Gujarat model reviving in terms of generating more revenues and spending it on spending it on infrastructure. Eventually, we can realize more quality of living.
Okay, one is infrastructure. What else?
Pro-business activities, sir.
Like?
So the concept of ease of doing business can be we can trace origins of ease of doing business into Gujarat model. That is one thing.
No, I think you are missing out on very crucial things. Like one is policy stability, which is very important, and law and order is very important. So these are the three pillars, you know. So infrastructure.
Yes, sir,
yeah, these are three pillars. Okay. Anyway, okay, tell me, you heard about cryptocurrency?
yes, sir.
What is the threat of cryptocurrency?
Sir, most of the cryptocurrencies are not owned by the government authorities. So always there is a risk of cryptocurrency being misused. for unethical acts. That is one threat in terms of terror financing, in terms of money laundering. And the second threat could be cryptocurrencies are very volatile. For instance, in recent times, we have seen huge drops in terms of Bitcoin's value, in terms of Ethereum value. So this is one more threat posed by the cryptocurrency, sir.
But RBI is issuing its own digital currency. So there also, government will have no control. I mean, when they are friendly with government, they'll issue digital currency. When they are not friendly with government, they'll withdraw. So can RBI not become a player manipulating the currency supply that way?
Sir, there is an RBI Act. Under RBI Act, government is the owner of the RBI at the end of the day, and government can regulate all these activities, sir. I believe we have enough checks and balances in terms of RBI issuing the money, whether it is printing currency, whether it is digital currency. It should come from the order should come from the government only.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello, Santosh.
Yes, sir.
A very simple question to begin with. Does skin breathe?
Yes, sir.
Can it intake any fluids or liquids from the surface?
Yes, sir. When it comes to skin breathe, yes, sir. Every cell in our human body, it breathes. We call it as cellular respiration. And when it comes to the second point, when the skin absorbs fluids or not, yes, skin absorbs fluids and minerals and all, sir.
So why did we go on and why did we claim that AIDS छूने से नहीं फैलता?
I'm sorry, sir. Can you please pardon me?
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Now you're audible, sir.
Okay. So if skin can intake fluids and if skin can breathe, so why did we go on and we kept repeating AIDS छूने से नहीं फैलता?
Sir, AIDS virus particularly affects CD4 cells, and also travels through a particular body fluids mechanism. But in case of transmission through touch, sweat is not, the concentration of AIDS virus in sweat is very, very less. That is one reason. And the CD4 component in the upper layers of the epidermis is also very less. So that is the reason why we say that through the touch, it is difficult for HIV virus to transmit.
Okay. Okay. So what according to is the most important priority of medical sector in India and of Chhattisgarh? Are they same? Are they different?
In my experience, largely the priorities of both Chhattisgarh and India in terms of healthcare sector are same. First priority that should be building the infrastructure. Maybe in Chhattisgarh,
infrastructure as in like hospitals for the patients or for the doctors, medical institutions. Like could you be slightly more precise?
Yes, sir. Sir, in terms of both India and Chhattisgarh, the magnitude, maybe the proportion may vary, but largely priorities are same. When it comes to infrastructure, for instance, in Bijapur district, where I work, out of 78 sanctioned subcenters, only 46 are working, sir. But the rest of the subcenter only existent on the paper. So in this regard, we need to build the hospital subcenters. Second, when it comes to government hospitals, we always see the shortage of drugs and diagnostics. This is one more concern. And third, when it comes to provision of services to health staff, be it nursing staff, being doctors in the rural areas, the services and the quarters are in very, very dismal condition. So maybe that is one reason why sometimes healthcare staff hesitant to go to remote areas and working there. So these are all the areas which need some attention in terms of infrastructure building.
Who's captaining Australian cricket team at the moment?
Sir, it is Steve Smith. In the absence of Pat Cummins, he is captaining again, sir.
Why isn't Pat Cummins available?
Sir, at this moment, Pat Cummins' mother is undergoing some cancer treatment. she is taking palliative care. So
Okay,
comments,
she passed away today, I guess, today morning. Okay, okay, great.
I'm
Good.
sorry, sir, I do not know that.
Well, that means you're pretty aware about cricket. Okay. So, and another thing, you're very fond of badminton as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what are shuttlecock's feathers made up of?
Sir, there are two types of shuttlecocks. One is made up of goose feathers. It contains shuttlecock contains 16 feathers. There is other variety of shuttlecock which is synthetic, made up of nylon.
Okay. Recently, there was an ethical debate about using geese feathers, no? So, maybe WWF, etc. They are trying to replace them with more synthetic shuttlecocks. So, are you in favor of using natural feather shuttlecocks or plastic shuttlecocks?
Sir, definitely I am in favor of using plastic shuttlecocks. Sir. Recently, in recent times, UNX comes up with a series that is Mavis 2000. So Mavis 2000, which offers similar flight, similar speed, which is as compared to the feathered cock.
You're aware about okay, and about, let's say, Lakshya Sen or maybe HS Pranoy. Who do you think India has a future in badminton? Are we in safe hands, or is it a lost cause?
For me, it is a positive sign, sir. Earlier, there were very little number of players in terms of badminton. But in recent times, we have seen so many players which are coming across the country. Earlier, when it comes to badminton, it restricted to southern part of the India. But now, like for that matter, Lakshya Sen, he's from Uttarakhand. So it is a promising sign. But having said that, sir, we have a lot of potential. Still, we can explore this domain in terms of promoting sports and competitions at schools and college levels.
But we're still not winning any big championships or maybe medals in Olympics or maybe anywhere else. BWF rankings are like pretty poor. 18th, 20th, nowhere close to being the top. So that makes me really wonder: are we really doing enough in badminton?
Sir, there are some positives also, sir. Recently, we won Thomas Cup for the first time.
Okay.
So that is a really good positive thing in terms of building badminton culture in the country. But when it comes to is it enough? Definitely, it is not enough, sir. We can achieve more.
Okay, one last question. European healthcare system is it's in news and it's in crisis. Why do you think Germany's or maybe UK's healthcare system is in crisis?
Sir, in terms of UK's healthcare system, most of the health service, not most, almost all the services are provided by the government public services. So in this regard, there is a long waiting list. So it again affects the quality of service delivery. So this is one big concern in terms of UK healthcare infrastructure, sir.
All right. Okay. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Santosh, your formal interview is over. How do you assess yourself? How do you think you've done today?
Largely, I'm comfortable talking to you, sir. But sometimes I felt like I should have connected with you in a better way.
Santosh, you are excellent. You are likely to get very good marks. I think, how many marks did you get in your last interview?
Last interview it was 173, sir.
173 is excellent. And I'm sure this time, with all your preparation, you are going to make it to 200 marks. I'm 100% sure about it. And your dreams of getting into the IS will be fulfilled. So, but be prepared, to answer this question as a plan B, what the comparison between, this post and telegraph accounts and medicine. Being a doctor, you prepare a good answer for that. What you said was fine, perfectly fine. But I think you think about it and maybe you can add a couple of more lines to it or maybe nuances to it. Secondly, a lot of things in your DAF which we couldn't ask because of the shortage of time. There also, the total interview will be around 25 minutes, 5 members, 5 minutes each. So 25 minutes you can spend, like you tried to, lead me to the Bastar PHC model. You can lead the interview board there. at that time
Yes.
also. So you can start explaining your Buster PhD model, or you can start talking about the leprosy mission and all. So you'll take away 10 minutes of your time, interview time, and you will be able to express yourself well. Otherwise, I think you mentioned traveling in your this thing. So tourism policy, you must read about it, because it's the latest thing. The Prime Minister has been talking about it last week, and he has said that to go back to the cultural roots of tourism in India. So read about it. There are articles in the Economic Times and all. If you Google them, you'll get them. So because of the traveling, tourism policy should be also, you should prepare on that. Then cricket diplomacy, because you're fond of cricket diplomacy. Australian PM is here today, watching the cricket match. So something about cricket diplomacy. Then postal services, like Sir kept on asking you questions on the post office, whether it's really relevant or not. That could be that is likely to be a question there.
Yes.
Then COVID, because you've dealt with COVID vaccine, you're the nodal officer. So whether COVID vaccination, what is our future strategy with regard to COVID or other such viral strains, or what went wrong with the vaccines? What allegation being leveled against the COVID vaccine are true or not? All these things, these questions, you can just Google them. Don't spend too much time, but you can read about them before your interview, so that you'll get an edge over the others. Because these items are all mentioned in your DAP. That's why I'm telling you this. But otherwise, you're excellent. Even without this, you will sail through. Good
Thank
luck.
you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
I agree, by and large, just your state, you do a bit of reading on your state also, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and the history also, the Vijayanagar Empire and all of that. They can ask you, again, being from a medicine background, they can ask you about patents and vaccines, and other, COVID platform, success of the COVID platform, the next pandemic, if it occurs, are we prepared for it, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
that you can read up about, the pharma sector also. I think you should kind of brush up a little bit on that, right? Otherwise, you're
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
Yes, wish you all the best. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Mulati ji?
You are very good. But this postal services, it's a burden on economy or not, that you should be very clear now that you are already an insider. So, and even to that matter, whether government should run PSUs or not, privatization of PSUs, all these issues, they may come up. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Think about it and be ready with that. Okay.
I will do that, sir. Yes, sir.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
सिमिलर ऑब्जर्वेशन भी वही मेडिकल पे पूछेंगे तो आपका एक्सपीरियंस ज्यादा है और जो प्लस जो हायर एजुकेशन भी अगर है कोई सर ने भी आपसे सवाल पूछा कि व्हाई नॉट मे बी स्पेंड योर लाइफ बीइंग अ डॉक्टर ऑलरेडी है सुपर स्पेशलाइजेशन भी है एंड देन जो पोस्टल टेलीग्राफ जो दोनों पर ही क्वेश्चन घूमने चाहिए बार-बार तो दैट शुड बी योर एरियाज ऑफ थोड़ा स्लाइड मोर इंपॉर्टेंस ठीक है वही दोनों चीजें मेडिकल और हायर स्टडीज वाला एंड देन प्रेजेंट सर्विस इन पर फोकस रहेगा बार-बार सवाल आएंगे तो थोड़ा और जो बार-बार उसको सोच लोगे बात कर लोगे तो और बेटर आंसर बन जाएंगे ऑलरेडी देयर आर वेरी वेरी गुड आंसर्स
Yes, I will do that. Yes, sir.
दैट्स इट थैंक यू
Excellent.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
All the best to you.
Thank you very much, sir. And thank you so much for all your suggestions and being supporting me this in the last half an hour, sir. And thank you so much.
थैंक यू
All the best.
All the best.